Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
Tiara.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 235, The Woman King. This is the 2022 film starring Viola Davis and Lashana Lynch and John Boyega. It takes place, the film takes place in the 1820s, 1823 to be specific, about a sort of a group of women warriors who are defending, they're called the Ajogi, and they are defending the West African Kingdom of Dahomey. So I had not seen this film. None of us had except for Terrence. So I'll go to Terrence first on his thoughts on the movie.
Are you going to be first?
Yeah, I'll go to you first.
Okay. It's fine. It's I'm gonna be the asshole here. No, it's
Shocking.
fine. I didn't hate the movie. All of the actresses and actors were great. Performances were great. The action sequences were pretty good. The story was some of it was a little melodramatic. It didn't really do much for me. Like I can acknowledge that this is a good movie, but it didn't really do anything for me. And I feel like it's probably because of all the hype that it got previous to me actually seeing it. I understand the hype. I understand why the hype was there. And I didn't really get it. I didn't get it.
Okay.
And I understand the historical inaccuracies. That didn't bother me any because it's fucking Hollywood. But it was just fine. To me, it was just fine.
Okay.
That's all
fair.
I got. We'll get it. We'll get into it.
All right, that's fair. Micah?
The movie is solid. It's fine. It's I can't complain about it, right? But it wasn't, people were saying that this movie is just amazing. And it's not amazing.
No,
it's good.
Not at all.
It's good. I do like it. Much like I like The Old Guard, which was also directed by Gina Prince Bythewood. That movie was solid. That movie was a Netflix movie, and it perfect for a Netflix movie. And I think this is just above that because the caliber of actors that they have in The Woman King. So one thing I do like about Gina Prince Bythewood's direction is that she directs women like men direct men. And what I mean by that is
I have a director in mind who she reminds me of a lot.
She directs women like they're people. Right? Like,
Yeah.
like they're not she directs women like they are 100% equal. And that's something you don't see in movies.
Yeah.
Usually, the trope is, the man is the hero and the woman is either supporting the man or needs to be saved by the man or is some sort of hindrance to the man's problem. Or if they are quote unquote equal when a man is directing, they're not really equal, right? Like permission to give 007 his code name back. Like, what? like, nah, yo.
I hated that line. I hated that line.
I hated it. I hated that part, man. I really, really did. But no, Gina Prince Bythewood in this and in The Old Guard, because I think that's the movie that she did right before this.
Yeah.
Women are 100% equal. They are just as capable. They are the heroes of these stories. And I appreciate that. I think we need more movies like that. The problem with this movie for me is that it feels like I'm watching like the worst parts of like a superhero movie. the getting to know you and getting the establishing, and like I'm not saying that's wrong. You need to establish these characters, right? You need to establish them for us to feel for them. But it feels like it takes forever to do so, right? Like the first two acts feel like the first act of the first Captain America movie to me. And it just takes a little long. Now the third act, where all the action is great. I love no notes. I love it.
Yeah.
But the first two acts are a little shaky for me, but we'll get into it. Look, every single one of these actors is amazing. All of them. I love Viola Davis. I don't love her accent. But other than that,
that's fair. That's not. I don't think that's unfair. It's not horrible, but it's not great.
It's not tell the truth, right?
Yeah.
But you could tell.
Have y'all watched Emancipation? I know that has nothing to do with anything.
I have not watched it yet.
Very low on my priority.
That is something I will not be watching.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow. Support black men.
I'm good.
Wow.
I don't even see Will Smith as a slave.
How?
Okay. I'm all right.
Hashtag not surprised.
It honestly kind of feels a little offensive to me.
Apparently he's Haitian in that movie. That was
that's why.
Is that a Haitian? All right, we can't get into
that's
that.
Why he has the accent. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there because I watched it.
Okay.
I like what's his name as a director?
Antoine Fuqua. Yeah.
Antoine Fuqua is a great director. That's it.
Okay. That's a solid review of Emancipation. Okay, let's go to Tiara. Tiara, what are your thoughts on The Woman King?
The reason why I said God damn it, because Micah took like the one criticism of this. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was fine. Yeah, I feel the same way as Micah and Terrence.
Wow.
I heard all the hype about it. I know it was in theaters, and I had a couple of folks text me saying like how much I really needed to go with the theaters to see it. I don't really go to the movies. One of them is.
We'll continue.
Tiara, I think you would love this movie. Why?
Actually, it's funny. The black woman was like, how she thought it was fine because she saw it in theaters, but the white guy was like, "Oh my god, it was so amazing," because he wanted us to go see it. And
I never knew slavery was like this.
And I was like, okay, well, have fun. I'll wait until it comes out or whatever. You also really like Black Adam too, which is
okay.
You need to know.
I mean, it was. I'll say this. I really loved the opening action sequence. In fact, I felt so queer in that moment. Watching those women go to work, especially Lashana Lynch. Gosh, she is just so beautiful. And however they filmed this to make all these dark-skinned women just look so radiant, props to that person.
A lot of baby oil.
Yeah, mad baby oil budget, yo. Baby oil budget was crazy.
Like go to CVS and buy up the fucking.
Went to the Vince McMahon school of lathering people up.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I think I could have done without the little love story, and I would have kept it to just a mentor-mentee or like a mother-daughter like relationship as like the primary theme in the film. It didn't feel right to me that they had someone as a sort of love interest who is whatever mixed race and kind of
why did you say that? Why did you say mixed race with more derision in your voice? Ugh, mixed race.
Wow. I could have done without that part. It's okay. I also kind of thought I wish it was a little bloodier. I mean, I was watching action sequences and I was like, oh, where's the blood? Oh, okay, I guess we're not we're not gonna have this be as gory and look, or at least look as brutal as it felt sometimes. Viola Davis's accent. I mean, come on, y'all.
Y'all being mean.
I love Viola, but I don't know if they look. All I'm saying is like the same person who helped Chadwick with his accent probably should have helped her with hers. But she was trying though, and I thought she did a really good job in this movie. I love the actress who played Nawi. That one scene we'll get to where they're running through all like the sticks or whatever kind of really made me cringe. But
oof.
Yeah, it's fine. I don't know if I would watch it again. Maybe later, maybe in the future. But yeah,
which accent was worse, her in this movie or her as Michelle Obama?
That's what I was just gonna ask. Yo, I have that image Googled, yo, like right now.
That shit is fucking hilarious.
So I never watched the Michelle Obama thing. I only saw that one clip where she was like, I think she said, "Don't they know that you a nigga or something like that?" I heard that, and I was like, "Okay, I don't need to see this."
Yeah, that was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Like
she tried to defend that. It's like, nah, Viola, you know you did fucked up.
Yo, come on,
you just got to eat that one. Yeah.
Oh,
it's not good.
Yeah,
so
what's she doing with her mouth?
I don't know.
She what?
You haven't seen it?
No,
I haven't seen it.
No.
I haven't, because all of the memes were giving me secondhand embarrassment. So I was just like, I don't think I need to watch.
I can't do it.
I can't do this.
I love Viola Davis too much to watch this.
Yeah. Also, John Boyega's hair. Please don't
steal my lines. I have things to say.
Because I was like, what did put in this nigga's hair? Because that's not what it looks. Really, really, them curls are mad defined. Like he has.
Yo, he was too clean, yo. He was too clean. Yo, he was just way too clean, yo. It's 1823.
He had a whole person.
His hair texture is supposed to be like mine, like 4C. His was like a smooth, wavy-ish if you're natural, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm just like, I don't think that's how that would work.
No.
And I'm pretty sure we'll get into the whole thing about this being tied to the slave trade and all that great stuff, which, all right.
Please don't watch that video.
I put the clip in the
yo.
Watch it real quick.
Yo.
Nah, yo.
That face,
yo, Viola Davis as Michelle Obama is offensive.
I'm gonna go watch it.
It's offensive. Yo, it's offensive, yo. It's not okay.
Why is the frame frozen on her face like that?
Because it looks ridiculous, yo. And that's exactly, yo, come on, yo. This shit's silly. Oh my god, so bad. Okay, so my thoughts overall.
I'm sorry, that bit.
It's just fucking hilarious. My thoughts overall on The Woman King. Look, I thought it was good. Not great. I agree with Micah that the third act is really fun. For me, I didn't. Yeah, I agree with Tiara that I didn't need the sort of love interest thing. Like, I didn't need young El DeBarge to show up and like, yo, he did. I was like, all right, we got it. You're very handsome. Like, I didn't need that.
Was he handsome?
I think by Hollywood standards, he would be handsome.
He was a light skinned nigga
with
curly hair.
I'm just saying
because
by
I couldn't see it.
Like, I'm just saying by Hollywood standards. So like I didn't really need that part of the story. It just felt it felt really tacked on, especially in the third act. It was like, y'all stopping in the middle of it. Like it felt.
Did they sleep together?
That seemed to be the implication, but I couldn't tell. Like, because they were in like different rooms. I don't know.
Well, because he was naked. And she was like, had like the sheet over. And I was like, what is happening here? This is very inappropriate for what's happening.
Right. And he looked mad older than her. Like, I get the ages probably weren't really that different, but like, he looked a lot older. I was like, I don't like any of this.
Since they made it a point that like, she's 19, but you look like a child. And I'm like, yeah she does.
And he like, hey, what's up? I'm like,
I had to look up how old she was in real life. I'm like,
how old is she?
She's fucking 31.
Wow. Holy shit. She looks like, really young, dude. She looks super young.
She's my age?
Yeah.
So,
31 years old. I was like,
wow. Yeah, she looks like
on a interview. I'm like, okay, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, she looked like a teenager.
Well, she was a fucking kid. It was weird.
I'm laughing at Micah's face.
Stop watching the Michelle Obama thing, Micah.
No. I was thinking of various things I could say about Tiara, because this woman who looks 12 years old is the same age as Tiara, and Tiara does not look 12 years old. So
No, I do not.
No. So I thought it was good, not great. I thought Lashana Lynch was she was a scene stealer.
I loved Lashana Lynch in this movie.
She was awesome.
So much so. I loved her so much that I said about halfway through the movie, I said Lashana Lynch's character has big best friend gonna die energy.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Because
I thought you were
cool. She's super personable. Like she's great.
I thought you were going to say big clit energy. I thought that's what you were going with. I thought that's where you were going with. I thought that's where you were going. Terrence thought it too. Yes, he did.
No, I didn't. I
yes,
don't know what the fuck.
help me, nigga. Join me.
Like, I would rather you have said big dick energy than big clit.
I don't.
That is fucking very uncomfortable.
I don't even think people even say that.
Well, they should. They should. You heard it here first. Trademark.
Oh God.
So. No, but look, yeah, I thought Lashana Lynch was great. I thought Viola Davis was really good too. Again, minus the accent. Maybe that's not really her thing as an actress, which is okay to just best to avoid. But I did enjoy their performances. I liked the young actress who played Nawe. I thought she was really great. I didn't need the romance. Like, that felt tacked on as shit. I did like the villain. Like, that guy had the we're gonna meet a number of times, kind of like we're going to clash a number of times villain. And I like their connection. I thought that was cool. Yeah, it's fine. When you made the comment, Micah, that she makes movies that are just kind of good, right down the middle type of films. I feel like The Old Guard is a right down the middle movie. I wasn't blown away by it, but I didn't hate it. Right. Mm-hmm. To me, her movies feel like something done by F. Gary Gray. That's who she feels like to me as a director. And that is to say, I like F. Gary Gray movies. I do. They're not great, but they work for me. I like, Law Abiding Citizen, The Italian Job, Set It Off. The Fate of the Furious is fine, but The Negotiator. I can't look at any movie that F. Gary Gray has done and get mad about it. I'm I've enjoyed all of these. None of them have I been blown away by. So yeah, I think she does good work. But I think for all of the hype of the movie, yeah, I think people might have been hyping it up a little too big, which is a shame because I was really excited for this to kind of blow the doors off. But it's fine. It's fine. I think maybe in the hands of a better director, if Ryan Coogler directed this, I think this movie would have been on some next level shit. But she shoots really well. It's good. It's a good movie.
I mean, I want to see more storytelling like this too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I get all the hype. I really do.
Hell yeah, of course.
Because it's this is something you don't see.
Right.
So I 100% understand that if this is your favorite movie or whatever, I get it. And it's not a bad movie. There are far worse movies. But yeah, I think this is just kind of okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into it. The film opens up in 1823, where basically the tribe, the Kingdom of Dahomey is in sort of they're having kind of a battle with the Oya Empire, right, which is a neighboring empire that they sort of have a tributary status with, right? They have to pay the OU Empire so much in tribute, probably once a month or what have you. And so with this new king that they have in the Kingdom of Dahomey, Yezo, played by John Boyega, they're basically look, we're done with this kind of relationship. It doesn't work for us. We're in financial turmoil because of that. And that's actually true to history, right? If you read up on the Kingdom of Dahomey's history under Gezo, that is actually accurate. That is why they went to war with them. Terrence, you mentioned the like historical inaccuracies, and TR, you mentioned those as well. What are you referring to exactly?
They made it out like they had nothing to do with. They didn't really bring the slave trade into what they did, but just kind of like surface level. And I feel like people wanted them to talk more about how the Dahomey kingdom was responsible for the slave trade. And
yeah, because they really really made it seem like well, the slave trade is a necessary evil, but we don't like it though. Just because we need you to root for us.
Yeah. Right? Like, so I like that is the criticism I heard as well. And I was just reading, like, if you read on Dahomey's Wikipedia page, and they have like a section about its rule from 1818 to 1859 under Gezo, like, but that does seem kind of accurate, right? So I don't know how accurate like the Wikipedia is, right? I'm just, taking it at its face, but it seems like under Gezo's brother, they were like all about like the slave trade, like, and it's even recognized like, yeah, we were doing it, and then like we're still doing it, and then like later on the Brits were like, we should abolish slavery, and they were like, yeah, but like everybody's doing it, so like we're trying to like tamp it down to then move into selling palm oil, which is accurate to the movie. Like that is kind of what they wanted to do. So I think when people say that they wanted more of the like more dealing with like what they did with slavery, that would have been technically before Gezo's rule, which like they did it, and then he kind of phased out that they would no longer, like when he came to power, they would no longer sell their own people into slavery, that they would fight wars and capture people and then sell them into slavery, which they talk about, like that does happen. Right. But then they're like, okay, we got to like taper it down. So I don't know that the movie is necessarily inaccurate. I just think that it's only looking at Gezo's rule, which I think if you look past Gezo's rule, if you look before it, you can see like they were heavily involved, which, I mean, he even says like this was what my brother did. So I don't know. I'm taking the Wikipedia at face value. If you take it at the face value, it seems to be fairly accurate to the movie, but I don't know how accurate that is because I don't know like deeper history of the country. So I don't know. Take it.
Were people? Was that a major criticism of the movie? Just the historical inaccuracies. Like, were people on social media being like, "Don't like"? Were they really upset about it?
Yeah.
People were like, "Don't go see it."
Because
like,
he entered.
I do have to say, like, that is the thing that drives me crazy is that anytime there is a black movie, a black focused movie, black people will specifically come out and be like, we need to boycott that. It doesn't, I'm like, every black movie, it's very weird to me. It's very strange.
It's infuriating because they don't do it for everybody else. We only do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know what movie they should have did that shit for? Green Book. Fuck that movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't understand how much I hate that motherfucking movie.
Why? Just like because a white man taught a black man how to eat chicken? Big deal.
Like, besides all that, like, that movie wasn't good, and it won an Oscar. The fact that it won an Oscar made me hate it even more.
No, it didn't win an Oscar, Terrence. It won Best Picture. It didn't win for cinematography.
It won 2 Oscars.
It won for Best Picture.
Best Supporting Actor. Was it Best Supporting Actor that he won?
Yeah. Because that's Mahershala Ali's second.
No. And then Best Picture. I want to complain about that shit.
No, they didn't. They probably didn't see it either, in fairness. So, yeah.
I was going to say, Viola Davis for this film, she was nominated for Best Actress.
That's ridiculous.
Globes tonight.
No.
That's not a best actress in a motion picture drama.
No, that's not an award-winning performance from her. And she's given award-winning performances.
Did she win for Fences?
I think she did.
I believe she did. Yeah.
She deserved it for that. Like, she did. She fucking tore that fucking script up.
Yeah, she ugly cried, yo. Like shit, like
Yeah, she has snot running down her nose. Like, just give it an Oscar. Like, you deserve this.
Supporting actress, right?
Yeah, she's incredible in that. So, again, the criticism of this movie from a slave trade perspective, and if you know more about the history during the rule of Gazo, I don't. So I'm not saying that the Wikipedia is accurate. I'm just saying, according to the Wikipedia entry, it's pretty well aligned with how the movie is presented. Also, like, pretty much everyone in this part of the country, or excuse me, part of the continent, all did slave trading. So I don't know, like, it feels like a weird, like, you're mad at that. Like, I don't know. Like, dude, it's 1823. Like, who were you?
Well, yeah,
like, it seems a bit weird. Like,
they're doing the, you know, take my 2022 values to 1822.
Like, it seems incredibly silly to me.
To 1822 in another part of the world.
Doing that? Like, who was doing that, Mike? Like, people online?
Internet.
Yeah, internet.
Oh.
Internet.
The internet's?
Internet.
Like, I get, like, obviously slavery is wrong. I hate that we have to fucking say that because somebody be like, so are you saying, no, we're not saying it's fucking correct, you idiot. Like, don't type that. Although they've already started typing it before I even got to this part. But the point is, like who are you upset with that they didn't spend 45 minutes on talking about how they were a part of the slave trade? Like, who are you mad at? You're mad at, like, the people who made the movie, that's not the focus? Like, who are you upset with? Like, it seems very weird to me. So enough to say it needs to be boycotted, because I think a lot of what a lot of the boycott is why no men the main characters, because I saw that shit too, and I'm like,
of course,
nigga, not every movie is about us.
Let me guess. They probably thought John Boyega was going to play a bigger role than he did.
Oh no! Them niggas ain't seen the movie. They saw the trailer. They were like, they saw Woman King.
They didn't see the trailer. They saw the title.
Yeah, they were like, that's offensive. That's offensive.
And we're like, well, how can a woman be a king? It should be the woman queen. I'm Jason Whitlock. I'm a fat ass that don't know shit.
I mean, in fairness, he don't.
We was kings. Oh, wait, I can say that. We was kings.
You can say it now. That's true. You can say it.
Yes.
Think about it. You can say it. That's the best part of this movie. You get to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dumb. But yeah, 100%. Like, they saw the fucking title and they got mad.
That's stupid.
Big mad. So the movie opens up with some of the folks in the Oya Empire hanging out by a fire, and then next thing they know, Viola Davis and a bunch of her fellow warriors show up, baby old up, and straight up murder these guys, which was fun to watch. It was.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, look, again, Lashana Lynch stealing the fucking show, like, right away by murdering someone with her fingernails like some sort of psychopath, which I appreciated. I liked it. Yeah, this is a pretty good action sequence. I could have dealt with more blood. I agree with Tiara there, but people getting fucked up. Also, these guys don't know how to fight. Like,
the amount of violence for a PG-13 movie was,
it's a little.
Oh,
except for it to be PG-13.
Oh, I thought it was rated R.
No. If it was rated R, I'd be livid.
Okay.
Stab more people. Come on.
Because the way that they were, like, just hitting people across the face with a machete, I was like, oh, there's no blood. Okay, well, all right, that's I guess a ding like quarter of a star because I want to see blood.
Fair enough. Did you guys recognize that one of the warriors? She's like she's got like a spear or a bow staff or whatever. She's just that chick who's popular on Instagram. Like
the samurai chick.
Oh, yeah. Samurai,
taught herself how to fuck martial arts.
Yeah, I thought that was dope. Like I was like,
that's cool.
I was like,
she was in Black Widow also.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she was one of the Black Widows. Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
I thought that was kind of dope. I mean, she's badass
cool.
in this too. That's kind of cool, man. You just like make your name on just on Instagram, and they're like, "You want to be in a movie?" Yes, I would like to be in a
Yes.
movie. Give me money. So yeah, you get to see this warrior tribe really kick ass here. And so then we kind of like get back to Dahomey, and it's basically the whole idea is that you're not allowed to look, if you're a citizen, you're not allowed to look upon these warriors like directly, right? And so there's this one moment where this like little kid is like, I'm gonna look, like fuck that, I'm gonna do it. And you see Lashana Lynch's character, Izoge, walk right up to him and he's kind of intimidated, and she just smiles at him like, yeah, we're just regular people, but like we'll also, total badasses, right? So it's a kind of a sweet human moment, right? Like you could, to Micah's point, like you could see men doing this in some sort of male-driven film like this, right? Like, yeah, they're hard, but like they also have a heart of gold, like human beings, right? So I appreciated that. Then we see Nawe, who is this young girl. Her father is trying to sell her off to marriage, and he's like, hey, this is your husband. And the guy is just like, yeah, you're going to work in the fields, and just like smacks her because she doesn't respond. And by the way, that dude is like mad old. Like,
yeah, her friend was like, don't worry, maybe he's handsome. And then he turned around and he looked like that dude from The Wire. She.
Oh. He's about his age too. God damn. It's like he got like 30 years on you. And she was like, nah, I don't want to marry him. And she like pushes him away. And so that guy's like, putting up with this shit? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like you're unmarriable. And so he bounces because, he's not gonna let some woman put her hands on him.
This bitch crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah, bro, you just smacked her, Like, what the fuck is your problem? And so he leaves, and her father, Nawe's father, is so upset that he literally just gives his daughter to the king. He's like, you can have her. Like, I can't marry her off. I'm here to give my daughter to the king, which is a classy move, I would argue.
You going to military school.
Yeah, to never come home again. Like, god damn. So it's weird because once they're like nuns, right? Like once they join in on this, in this group, they are no longer allowed to like marry or bear kids or anything like that. So, she gets brought into this world, and then she sees these women training, the Agoge, and she sees them like, but they're actually free. Like they're actually being treated as equals amongst themselves, and they're revered, obviously. And she's all about it. She's like, hell yeah, these chicks are dope as shit. And Izoge is showing her around and kind of like being the mentor. Like Micah said, she is definitely going to die later energy because she's fucking cool. Smash cut to this guy. He's a real piece of shit. The villain, Oba, who is, I thought for sure before I saw his face, I was like, oh, it's Adebisi from Oz. I was gonna have the little hat on. But this guy is a part of the OU Empire, and he finds all of the dead soldiers that the Agoge killed the night before. And so he's like, all right, we need to go over to Dahomey and basically like lay down the fucking law. And they do. But this is also where we meet King Gezo, played by John Boyega, who seems just a little too like primped for 1823, just for me. Like it felt weird. What did you guys think of his performance? Did you like it?
You know how black dudes are like their spirit animal is like a lion. Like that's what I think he was channeling with this, right? Because the lion, king of the jungle, right, just kind of looks over the pride and then tells all the lionesses to, go do all the hunting.
Yeah, do all the
like
real work.
Go to the store and go get me some meat, right? Like that's go out there and hunt. That's the vibe that I got from him, right? Like just like a king of the jungle type of vibe. So the prim and proper like nature, like he's like his mane is that curly Q hair that he has, right? Like that baby hair that he has on his head.
Nigga used all the berries and juices in his head.
Right. And so if that was the goal, right? If that was the goal, then he nailed it. And I think that is the actual goal, right? Like, so I thought his performance was fine. He's another one who's just a great actor, and he's cool to look at on screen, and he's not like a benevolent king, right? Because he's still like kind of a dick.
He's also kind of a coward. Like that's kind of a slightly the
flow the whole time. Like he's just
kind of there.
Yeah, like there's a couple of times I'm like, sack up, my nigga. Like like the baddest chicks on the planet, like fighting you. He's like, well, maybe we should go with the trade routes. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah,
just go kill those guys. Like, just go do it. Direct them. I got kind of a weird cowardly vibe, a little bit.
Yeah, like a pointless, like. Yeah, his plot point was kind of pointless with the woman was his wife or whatever, the woman that wanted to be his wife, or was that his wife, or did she want to be his wife?
No, that's his many wives.
His harem.
That was his
Dahomey.
That
What's going on?
Yeah, actually,
like, what is it? Like,
I would watch that show.
I mean, that they had that whole part about one of his wives talking about his business, and then that whole thing with Natsika being like, "Oh, you just want more power. You're not really worried about your husband." I'm not sure if that went anywhere. John Boyega's performance was fine. There was one part where, and maybe it was probably like the lighting from my TV, but I looked at the screen. I was like, "Who is this light skinned dude in the robe?" And then I went to Shut Off the Blinds, and it was John Boyega. And I was like, why does he look so? Like, I don't want to say like clean, but it's just like he looks just too fresh for this time period. Like
he looked like he was at a fucking like at a day party, and then just like like a grown and sexy day party, and then they were like, all right, like action. He was like, all right, I got it. Like I ain't gonna change my clothes. Like it's just really weird. Like, but I guess it sort of matches. Like his wives all looked very clean versus like all the warriors and stuff like that. But like, I guess that makes sense, right? Though, like the costuming slightly bothered me in some parts because like there was a moment where his wife, his main wife, I guess, is like walking away, and I was like, this feels like modern clothes, like looking like old school African clothes. I was like, yo, that dress is like, that's a bodycon dress you got on. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was a bit weird. She looked great. No, don't get me wrong. But it was just like, I'm not sure that this is up to weirdly, I don't think this is up to like the same caliber of, like a Black Panther, like where that stuff seems like way more genuine, weirdly, in a superhero movie.
It looked like cosplay. No offense to Dimitri. It looked like fucking cosplay.
Yeah, it did.
Like,
it did.
Looked like it came straight out of 2022.
Yeah, like, dude, I'm telling you, there's a scene in like the latter part of the movie where the wife walks away. I was like, yo, that dress, I guarantee that's on Amazon. Like, I guarantee you it is. Like, it just fit. It fit like it wasn't flowy. It was like I was like, I mean, you look good. Don't get me wrong, you look great. I'm gonna rewind and watch it again. But it was just like, it was wild. It was a little odd. Like those materials did not exist in 1823. Like we didn't have Spanx, my nigga. Like, relax. I mean, hey. So Viola Davis's character gives Nanesca gives a speech to the all the warriors and the would-be future warriors of Dahomey. She's like, listen, like these are the rules. Like You can't leave. You live in these palace walls. You respect the king. You take no husband. You bear no children. If you become a Goje. And they're like, all right, bet. And basically they also had young girls who were brought there or wanted to be in a Goje. And then they also had young women who had been captured from other tribes, like specifically the Mahi tribe. Earlier in the film, like if you, no matter where you come from, if you make it into the Goje, you are Dahomey, right? Like you are from that kingdom. That's just the way it goes. Which is kind of a cool little side note. I don't know how true that was to history, but for the movie, for the narrative, it was an interesting little narrative. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. There's a lot of training. Again, I think this is kind of Micah's point of like the getting to know you part.
There's a lot of training and there's a lot of character setup. And like I said, I don't mind it. It just felt like it was 2/3 of the movie. And I don't know.
Yeah. So there's a scene where they're all given a rope, and Nawe is like, this isn't a real weapon. And Viola Davis is like, all right, like, bet. You know what? Here, take my sword, which she could barely lift. And she's like, now go cut the head off of that fighting dummy. And of course, she was not able to do it because she's got the arms of made of noodles. So she did not have the strength to do that. And then, so she got embarrassed, as you do in any of these training montages. Fast forward to you get to see sort of, where is it? So
at one point, the Oye captain general.
I think he's a general.
He comes to the village and he's like, "Hey, pay some tribute." And the king is like, "No, we don't do that here." and they get into this argument and they're like, "Look, you're gonna have to look. We know what you did at the beginning of the movie, so you're gonna have to give us some compensation, and that compensation is what we normally take plus 40 of the of your women warriors, right?" And the king counters. He's like, 20, and you got a deal. It was like, bet, I'll take it, right? And and they handpick which warriors to go because there is like a plan. So we cut to these Portuguese slave traders.
Yes.
And they are
arguably the inventors of worldwide racism, incidentally.
Chattel.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, no, like quite literally. There, I remember listening to this whole like history of slavery and racism against black people specifically, and it was basically like the Portuguese. Like one prince was like, "Hey, those Africans are considered very beautiful and like extremely exotic and all this other stuff," and he was like, "They're not as good as us," and then just starts spreading that, and everyone's like, yeah, that's it. Yeah, they're all not as good as us. And then it basically became a worldwide fucking thing from all of Europe's bullshit. Like spread basically from jealousy because, he has a small dick and, some dude over there was swinging a 7-foot cock or whatever. So, yeah, that's what happens. White men get jealous. And then the world pays for it. Sad.
So they're at this like different village, right? And you see there's this Portuguese slave trader named Santo Ferreira, and he is accompanied by a half Dahomeyan dude named Malik, who is apparently ugly according to TR.
I didn't say he was ugly. I just
that's what I heard.
Look,
that's what you didn't have to say it. You didn't have to say it.
I didn't call him ugly.
Yeah. You said I don't see beauty, I see ugly. That's what you said.
I just feel like words.
Was he? That was your words. Wow.
he's not for me, but that's okay. Like, I'm pretty sure he's very attractive to a lot of people who probably watch this
To
movie.
people who like ugly dudes, apparently. Those were
Right.
your words, your exact words. So the Agoji, led by Viola Davis's character Naniska.
Yeah, no.
She's like, she comes up, she and her warriors, and they give the tribute in a bucket, right? And the general, what is this dude's name? Oba is like, look at these Bohemian motherfuckers. Their men can't even come over. They gotta send their women over here because just broads, right? And the Niska is like, you want your tribute? Here's your tribute, which wasn't as badass as I think she wanted it to be, but she kicked over the bucket, and it was just a bunch of heads rolling.
Of his dudes.
Again, yeah, of his men. And that's the signal, right? That's the signal to start fighting. Yep. And then we get a fight scene, and Naneska is telling the rest of the Agoje that they got to transform and roll out, right? And Nawi is like, oh no, he called for backup. I'm gonna help because I'm a free thinker, right? I don't just follow the rules, right? And the fight goes on. Right. The fight goes on. It ends in a stalemate. Naneska and Nawi get away, and Nawi is chastised for not following the rules.
Even though she saved Naneska's life, basically.
Even though she saved her life. And yeah, the action scene was okay, but it was rather short. And you know how most movies kind of cap off their acts with an action scene?
Yeah.
This kind of was the beginning of Act 2. I don't know. There's something about the pacing of this movie that I don't like. It's not bad, but it doesn't.
It's a little
keep
off.
Me. It doesn't. Yeah, there's something wrong with it. Like it doesn't.
Feel underdeveloped in some parts.
Yeah, yes and no, because like the characters feel developed, but the story doesn't. Exactly. At this point, I'm like, yeah. Why am I here? Like.
You know what? For me, what it is, everybody is way too physically close to each other for this to be like, we're gonna retreat to our fucking kingdom, and then we won't see you guys for another like 40 minutes. I'm like, yo, these people are like 5 minutes down the road. Like, it doesn't. It feels very weird to be like, and we're gonna run away. Like we're getting away from the shores. I'm like, yo, that's like right up the block. Like y'all not hiding. Like we know where y'all are. Y'all can't just start fighting us and then we just like, we're just going to stay there. Like, it just feels fucking weird for these two kingdoms to be as close as they are to be fighting. But it's also, again, this movie in the hands of somebody, I think, who perhaps, like, and I don't know, I don't think she wrote this movie. I don't think the director actually wrote the movie. But
no.
I think, the screenplay, like, if you would have had somebody who had a little bit more developed sense of how to kind of write these stories, there's internal politics, there's external politics, there's the action sequence, there's a weird love interest. Like that's a lot to juggle, right? Where just the politics and the action would have been enough.
And then there's another theme too, which is sexual assault as well. With
right. That's a huge part of it. Right.
Mike, I feel the same way. Like there were parts of this movie that did feel underdeveloped to me, and I think because now that scene just came on, the dynamic between Abo and what's her name?
Naneska.
Viola Davis.
Naneska.
Naneska. I think I would have liked to see that develop a little bit more
Yeah.
because clearly there was some trauma there, and it resulted in. Well, we'll get to that part, but even that felt like a bit too surface level for me, considering that they kind of showed a bit of a flashback. But I don't know if it paid off to me as much as it was intended.
Yeah, because they kind of
go ahead.
They kind of do a Bison thing from Street Fighter, where it's like the guy doesn't, and she even is like, you don't remember me, but you never gonna forget me, right? Like it doesn't.
He
It
died
doesn't
like 13 seconds later.
Yeah, I mean,
How memory works. Like I'm never gonna forget
personal.
5 seconds from now.
It feels personal for one person.
Right.
And look, I've never experienced, that kind of trauma. So maybe that's how it is. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It felt like these two were, from her perspective, it felt like they should have been like warriors that have always like bitter rivals.
Yeah,
like,
mortal
Right.
enemies.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, mortal enemies, and
Yeah,
because
it was
it's
just a Tuesday. Like,
and for
Right.
him, it was
Yeah.
just a Tuesday.
He's like-
It was just
Right.
it was a business transaction for him, but it was really personal for her. I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, that would have actually been nice. Like if he, like when she sees him the first time, she recognizes him because of his ear piercing, right? It would have been interesting if he recognized her. You know what I mean? Like equally like, oh shit. And then he's like,
even passing, he was just like, I don't know this bitch. Like he's like, I have no clue who this woman is.
right. Like if he
Weird.
had recognized her and she recognized him, then this idea of like, she's traumatized because of what happened to her, right? Spoiler for the movie: he rapes her when they're younger. He rapes her, right? Impregnates her. If they had both mutually understood who they were these years later, her hatred for him would have equally been as important to the story, right? But then he could have been like this like you could have really made him a real piece of shit villain. Like
Right.
he's like, yeah, you remember how like all that warrior shit didn't mean anything. I still had this power over you, right? Like this idea of no matter how strong you are, and they sort of play with that. No matter how strong you are, this man has this sort of like bestowed power above you no matter what, right? Like she couldn't fight him off when she was younger because she didn't have the skill to. But just from a societal standpoint, right? Like that's I would assume that's kind of where they're going. But if he had recognized her, he could have constantly been like, trying to chip away at her, which would have made her sort of the way she kind of crumbles around him. It would have made that much more powerful. That in the end, she's like, what she recognizes in herself of like that fear, she has to sort of take that on to take him down. Like that would have made those characters feel that much stronger, right? Like that connection between them that much stronger. Like,
yeah.
But they opted not to, and I don't know why, because these characters, I mean, they're largely just made up, right? Like you could have really dug into that. So I don't know.
Well, this was written by two white
especially
women.
because
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
This movie was
What'd you
written by
say?
two white women.
Yeah, it was. I just looked it up.
Yep.
It's
So
not.
there you go.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem that white people write stories like that. Like fundamentally, there's not a problem. But boy, do you! It's the difference between yes, you can make chicken with just salt and pepper on it, but you'd rather you put a lot more seasoning on there, like to make it real good, right?
There's 9 other herbs and spices that need to go in this chicken.
I think
that's the best way. That's actually the best way to describe using chicken as a method to describe white directors versus black directors telling black stories.
You know what? That makes so much sense. Why they put this love story in here? Because I'm like,
yes,
why the fuck?
100%.
Like,
Doesn't
why
make
would
any
this?
sense.
Why would this girl fall for someone like this? Like this doesn't make any sense.
She saw him. He saw her. he had a little bit of like a rhythm of the night sort of situation going on, and he was like, all right, he's trying to figure out a way to work it in. But like, yeah, it made no sense. But yes, white women who read those fucking books with Fabio on the cover, it makes total sense as to why you would need to cram it in. These women are supposed to be the most badass, as Santos said, the bloodiest bitches on the planet. Like, why do they need to have a love story? No, fuck no.
The love story is a mother-daughter love story.
Thank you.
And a story amongst sisters.
Thank you. Like, that is the love story.
That's the love story here. I think.
God, now that you say that it's directed or written by two white women, that really fucking makes me mad. Because to TR's point, that is the fucking love story. Is that two black women coming together and black women coming together as black women, that love can't be explored. It has to be some half white dude. They gotta bring the nigga in from what's that fucking show you watch? What's the show with the light skinned black dude on Netflix? Fuck, what is that show?
I don't know who you're talking to.
And talking to you, Tiara. What's the show with the black dude? They did a second season of, and he's not on it. Bridgerton, yeah. They got to bring in like some long haired nigga from Bridgerton. Sorry, I could not remember the name of that show at all.
I got two things I need to get off my chest. One, because of all this, Oba as a villain just didn't feel that big of a deal to me. I think if they had, like you said, Jay, made them recognize each other, or let's say they've been seeing each other all these years since, and he fully remembers and doesn't care and wants to continue to traumatize her.
They pay tribute to them from time to time, so they should they shouldn't remember each other.
Right.
Then you feel. I think a really good villain in a movie or so, you feel that villain even when they're not in the scene. Like you could just feel them as a looming threat. My other thing, and I know how this is going to come out.
Now here we go. Go ahead. You need a cup of water because you're getting a little thirsty over there. Go ahead.
I just got to the scene where the dude is like naked at the river because his clothes are gone, and he's like obviously covering himself.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
I get it. Okay, I look. I'll say I'm not mad at it.
Get it now.
Still not for me, but everything from here down. Look.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. I heard you say this dude got a butterface. That's what you said.
You said, Joe.
You say he got a butterface.
That's not what I said. I said the man is attractive.
You're right. You're right. You said he got a butt his face.
I'm just saying, like, look, the man clearly works hard in the gym, and he should be.
You can appreciate it.
Yeah. Why does John Boyega's character with the robe and like the little design thing on the collar, whatever, that looks like someone from like a fraternity or something.
That's what I'm saying, yo. These clothes were made. These clothes are not doing a good job of pulling me into 1823, yo.
Yo, he looks like a Sigma. You're right.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Alpha Phi Negro is a viable fraternity.
So there's the naked scene, which that's a meet cute apparently in this movie.
Can you give me my clothes back? My balls is out. Like, all right, that's not a meet cute. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Also, you look 12. So
yeah.
I looked at other photos of her while we were talking, and she does still look really young, but she looks
20.
She looks like an adult.
She looks like an adult.
Good.
I can believe that she was 30.
Yo, this picture on her Wikipedia looks like something from the fucking Disney, like Mickey Mouse Club. Yo, it's fucking weird. She looks mad young. Okay, there you go.
She does look young.
These other photos are doing it for me, though. I got it.
We get to the point where the movie turns into Wonder Woman 1984, where there's a competition between all the prospects. They have to go through an obstacle course, which consists of a wall of thorns.
No, thank you.
And now it goes back to help an injured friend. Then they do the Ninja Warrior warped wall, which not a lot of people can do, guys. Not a lot of people can do that. It's very difficult. And then you jump over the warped wall, and then you got to fight people. You got to it's Assault from American Gladiators.
Right.
and you gotta make it past these people, right? You got the football, and you gotta get past the tackles.
The one chick just does a Superman punch. It just hits the nigga in the face.
Right,
I was like,
Jesus
is that in
Christ,
the rules?
And then the first person to decapitate a dummy.
God damn.
Yeah.
I guess everybody wins. I mean, yeah, like Naui was just like straight up kicking ass. Yeah, she straight up Superman punched that dude in the face. That shit was wild. I appreciate it. Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good little like trial or what have you. It's a decent scene.
I did not need this in the movie.
No,
I mean, I get it. I get it. It just and I'm not saying take it out. I'm saying maybe tighten the story up a bit, because we still have an hour. We still have an hour left, and this movie is saying is doing a lot and not saying a lot.
That's fair.
I think this scene would have worked better if it was earlier, because that's another thing about this movie.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, like
it's
right
this hours
after
like
her
2 hours 14 minutes.
Right.
It's a little too long. I think an hour 45, maybe 2 hours would have been fine, but it's just a little too long because of scenes like this.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the idea of doing this much earlier.
Yeah, you're right. This scene needs to have been done in the first act. Like, we're in the second act and you're still training. I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me, but yeah. What do I know? I don't write movies.
No, you do not.
Let's see. So Naneska and Naui are taking a bath, and Naneska notices a scar on Naui's back. More on that later. Naneska is creeped out by it, and or freaked out by it, and one of her general, or her number one, her Riker, notices, and she's like, "Yo, what's up?" And she's just like, "I'm freaked out, yo." And she was like, "I can do the superstitious stuff that this hoodoo mumbo jumbo, right?" She was like, "All right, maybe you should, maybe you should do
fact,
that, though."
Amenza and Naui are the same age in real life,
and they're also a foot different in height.
Yeah.
Menzies was mad tall. So incidentally,
fucking kind of creepy.
Say again.
She said they're the same age. She just looks so young. It's it's off-putting. Remember Pariah?
Yes,
that movie.
Yeah, and we had to check.
And one of the chicks, I'm like, yo, she is fine as hell, but like, she's like a teenager, and I don't like it. Looked up, she's like 45 years old. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I remember after we did that episode, one of my all-time favorite episodes, I sent it to the stars of the movie, and I was like, hey, like, we loved your movie. Here's us talking about it. And they responded, and she was like, yeah, that was really great. You guys are hilarious. And then I realized we were talking about how fine both of them were in the movie. So I was like, ooh, sorry about that. But y'all are, so like, it's true.
She's 6 feet tall.
Yeah, yo, she's mad tall. Like, that's pretty tall for a woman.
I love it.
Relax. Relax. I mean, I love it too. Like, look, I like tall or short women. I don't care. I don't care how tall or short or dark or light any woman is. I'm not some fucking internet chef. So then we get fast forward a bit, and we get a scene where the warriors are basically taking on, like straight up taking on the Oya Empire, and we actually get to see Nawe like in action. For a young girl who was complaining about how a rope is not a weapon, tying a rope to the end of a sword and then using it sure was quite effective in that battle, which was dope. She was fucking niggas up in that scene. And then that girl jumped on that dude's neck and broke his neck. That is not an easy thing to do. I know in movies they show it, but like you're not just snapping people's necks like that. Like you're not a superhero. But yeah, then she got thrown off a fucking hill, and they thought she was dead for a while. And then a lot of the Ogoje get captured, and they're taken off to be sold by more of the Oya tribe for slavery. In this scene, we actually get like, you kind of really get you get a sense of like Oba's sort of like what's really going on with him. Like basically they're like, listen, we've got to be like really brutal to these women and kind of get as much money as we can. Cause if we return home after we got defeated earlier, they'll kill us. So he's not as tough of a guy as he is perceived by everybody else. We see a scene where Nawe and Izogi are like in prison, and Izogi is ready to give up and slit her own throat, basically, so she doesn't get sold into slavery. And Nawe basically reminds her of what Naneska basically said. Like, listen, like, fear not, face it head on, basically, we don't run from shit. Relentlessly, we will fight. And so Izoge kind of finally gets a hold of herself. And then she asks Nawe to push her arm back together because it is very much broken. It's not a scene I enjoy watching. It really isn't. No, thank you. Like, you can just leave me here. I'm good. But yeah, her arm was like really fucked up. And we see the king basically, he names Naneska as the woman king in front of like all of his wives, and all the wives, including the main one, played by Jamie Lawson, by the way, named Shantae. That woman is super fine. She gets mad because she thought she was going to get named the woman king. But I guess his baby hair was getting to his brain, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna name you. Name Naneska the woman king." Of course, this hasn't been announced in front of everybody, and so the wife storms off. She was none too pleased. And Gezo basically uses that as an opportunity to tell Naneska privately, like, you're not going to go after your warriors. Like, you're going to leave them captive. Like, we're going to just move on. And we're going to celebrate that you're the woman king. Which is fucked up. We do get to see a scene of Azoge and the other warriors being sold at the auction block to these Portuguese slavers.
This Portuguese dude is foul because he's like inspecting the property, right?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, Lashana Lynch, what these boobs feel like? Like, what the, like, is that going to help her? Is that going to get what? Like,
nah, he's friends with the writers. He was like, look, I need you to write a scene here for me. Like, help me out. There's no way I'm ever going to get Lashana Lynch. If you could just let me just touch a titty, like, that'd be great. One of the scenes early on that I did not care for, with these Portuguese dudes, when they were being carried through the jungle, or they were walking through the jungle, they were like laying in hammocks being carried by people. I was like, I don't care for any of this. Throw them off a hill. Like, that was unacceptable to me. Like, you could just get rid of these slavers. Just walk up a mountain and just throw these niggas off. But yeah, that dude was copping a feel, which was not cool. But during the time where they were trying to sell them at the auction block, your boy, Mr. DeBarge, Malik, he came up and he's like, yo, what the fuck? Why are you trying to fucking buy these women? You know, like, these are my people. That created enough of a diversion, and the Agoje escaped. She actually gave a sidekick to the dude with a musket. That was dope. And as they were escaping, what's that?
One of them escaped.
Yeah, unfortunately. I did appreciate Izoge. Like, one guy tried to grab the musket out of her hand. She was like, "Oh, you want it? Here," and shot him and like basically like gave him the gun. Like, you take it, which was fucked up. That's a good way to kill a guy. It was cool watching these black women beat the shit out of these Europeans. I'm not gonna lie, that was fun. More on that later. And
my favorite part.
Yeah, that ending scene. They were just like kill everybody. I was like,
now we hit someone across the face with a machete, and I was like, oh, great.
Yeah, can you do it again? It's fine.
Yeah.
So they're like they almost escaped, and but Nawe gets kind of captured and gets pulled back. And Izoge, against her probably better judgment, goes back to save Nawe, but she gets shot in the back and she dies, unfortunately. Then cut back to the kingdom. Naneska is basically telling Amenza, like, listen, I realized like all this, basically what I was afraid of is like this beast that I was afraid of in my dreams is me. And I gotta basically take it head on, and basically go save my daughter and kill Oba, who is technically her father. I mean, like quite literally, but you know, it's not like he raised her or anything. And so she defies the king, and you know, she goes out and she goes to go save her daughter. Again, this could have been the love part of. God damn it, white women! God damn it!
The part.
God damn it!
So I like
God,
the whole
that's
like
so
shark
fucking
tooth.
irritating. Go ahead.
I mean, I like to quote one of the hosts here, Micah, is that they are a problem.
Like
so
in this case, they didn't even know they were a problem, right? Like they didn't do anything necessarily like bad. It's just that they didn't, because they're not black women, they can't recognize that the love between a black woman and her daughter, or black women collectively, is more important than just some light-skinned nigga showing up.
Yeah, but Jay,
black women don't need to be fucking saved, dude. Like there's enough of that shit.
But Jay, he wanted to go back to his mother's home with his slaving ass friend.
And he a punk bitch, by the way. I'm just like, as a side note, he a punk bitch. Because in a moment later on in the movie where he could have like saved those slaves, and he did, but he did it in a bitch ass way. He took the knife out of his buddy's like back pocket. You're supposed to stab your friend. You cut the slave's hand. You cut the slave's hands. They escape and let them murder your friend because you too much of a bitch ass nigga to do it yourself. Nah, yeah, you a coward.
A white savior.
He's a half
white savior.
Yeah, he's a half white savior, yo. Now fuck off.
And then he have this strong, literally strong black woman, give him a time of day to help him out.
Nah, yo, fuck this
him.
Nah, he didn't need to be in the movie at all.
No,
at all.
No, he didn't. There's no point to this character.
Nah, yo, that really makes me mad knowing that, because there's no, like, how did you miss that would have been a way more important aspect to that character? Like you spent like 10 minutes with this dude dream like fucking Music Soul Child, like, oh, I'm back for you, you know, like all this fucking simp bullshit. Like, yo, nigga, there's a war going on. Can we concentrate on that shit? No, let me rub your hands. Like, fuck off, yo. Fuck off. She makes me mad, yo. Stop making movies like that, yo. Stop making movies like that. That character does not need to exist in this at all. It's fucking dumb.
Yeah. And again, love stories don't have to be romantic. For movies like this. So the whole like shark tooth thing, in that reveal, I would have loved if those seeds were planted like in the first act of the film.
Yes, I agree with you.
But you know, That's what it is.
So, fast forward, 5 black dudes murder a white guy at the beach. It was awesome. Yeah, they drowned him, That's fucked up. Why does it have to be our responsibility? I mean, I'm sure them black dudes weren't that mad about it, but like, you should have had blood on your hands. You're standing there watching your friend buy up people, and you don't have the fucking wherewithal to stab him in the back like a traitor. That's what you're supposed to do. Coward. He's my friend. Yeah, wasn't your friend? He's floating in the fucking ocean. Who cares? So in this scene, during the time that they're drowning this white man, beautifully, the Agoge show up. They followed Nanesca, even though she was going to go alone. They followed her because like that's their leader. So they were like, "Nah, yo, we with you." And they just basically go to this market where they've been selling these slaves, and they just kill everybody. Credits. Yeah. like, it was awesome. Yeah, like this could have been 45 minutes of the movie. It's just them fighting in this marketplace and fucking people up. And yeah, again, you quite literally you don't get the amazing line, but you quite literally get the you ruined my life. For me it was a Tuesday kind of thing. It's like I don't know you. Like why should Oba have any like anger towards Nanesca outside of just being a general from a competing tribe or a competing kingdom? Yeah, what a fucking massive missed opportunity. And it's weird because it's not like they didn't want to focus on the rape. Like that's quite literally like also like it would have also helped, by the way, if Nawe would have killed him. Right? It like or both of them had killed him. Like in a way, like you are literally extricating that or dealing with the pain that Nanesca dealt with, and she is killing this father who, created her out of pure hatred, basically. Like that there's, and then have them rally around each other through that. Like, I don't know. Maybe that would have made some black dudes on Twitter go fucking crazy, but I don't know. I'd have done it.
I mean, they also had a missed opportunity when Nawi's in the cage and Oba, like, I think like talks to her directly, but he doesn't know who she is and she doesn't know who he is. And I'm just thinking, like, what if we had even had a scene where he does meet his daughter, but even then he's just like, this is a truly evil dude where he's like, I don't care. Like, I'll kill you too. Something like that. I think it would have made a much more interesting story than, I don't know, having Nawi develop a relationship with a half-white slaver. Or Jace slaver, whatever, slaver or Jace, whatever.
Yeah, he was definitely slaver adjacent. Yeah, just after Nanesca kills Oba, like some guy, some European guy with a rifle is about to kill her, and Nawe shows up and shoots that guy in the back with the flintlock from that she got from Danny Glover in Predator 2. Which was awesome. And I hated the fact that in that moment she's dressed like a fucking European woman. I hated that. Like, oh, your clothes are bloody, dressed like a either a slave or a white woman. Why, my nigga? Why? She's not going to Europe. She's a black fucking African warrior. Let her be who she is. Fuck. God. All right. She did then proceed to slice up a couple of white dudes. And that dude's got a sword thrown at his the back of his legs. Best of luck. And then she choked that nigga out. So that was cool. Good job, white woman. Cut back to the kingdom. They're trying to celebrate, and all this other stuff. And all of a sudden, here comes Nanesca and the rest of the Agoge and the captors that they rescued, even though she was told not to do that. and everybody is, they're happy to see them, right? And they're, they love what happened. They like the regular citizens love what happened. Naneska and the rest of the Agoge walk up to the king. The king comes down and is basically like, you defied me. Like, I told you not to go, and you did anyway. And so she goes, well, I offer my resignation of my post. He takes her sword, and then he gives some speech like, look, we beat the Oya Empire, thanks to, the baddest of badass warriors, because I ain't fighting. And then he says, and then he announces publicly that Naneska has earned the title of the Woman King. So everybody goes crazy. Everybody's hyped about it, except for his wife. I think she was still pretty salty about it. And we cut to later on, Viola Davis is there and watching, the other women in the kingdom dance and celebrate. And Nawe goes over to her and is like, mother, will you dance? Trying to reconnect with her and everything else. And in the end, Viola Davis gets up and dances and celebrates with the rest of the women. Credits.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, it's good. Not great. A lot of white women missed opportunities here.
I'm sorry. That wasn't like on social media. People weren't like feeling boycotted.
No, people don't get into that.
They didn't know.
People don't get into the weeds. They don't know who wrote. They don't click Wikipedia. They go to Wikipedia. They don't click on any of the links.
I am so surprised that wasn't like the thing to get people to be like, no, don't see this movie. Why did Viola Davis sign on to do this? Lashana Lynch deserves better, as if these women don't have their own agency to do a project like this.
Look, to be fair, right?
I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you, Micah, but this is incredibly important. This person's credits include movies like City of Angels, Fatherhood. Did you see the other one? Did you see the uncredited one? The 1999 film? The World Is Not Enough?
Twine. Yeah, the Twine. Yes, I saw it.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
To be fair, with movies, yes, writers have a certain amount of power. The director has the most power. So if the director did not want something there, it wouldn't be there.
Yeah, they could have just said no to the story.
Right. The director, if Gina Prince Bythewood didn't want that love story to be there, it wouldn't have been there. So
that is correct.
Take that for what it's worth.
It's a fucking mistake. Oh, she did. That's right. She did Beyond the Lights. I like that movie.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Well, this movie is. I mean, yeah, Mike, I agree with you. I don't think social media is that rational though. But I think most people will enjoy this. I would like to see Lashana Lynch and just more things. I think she should be a bigger star. She's so talented. So more of her in just anything, everything. Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, she was in Bond. She was in Captain Marvel. Like, I mean, she in the MCU too. Like, she out there.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think she's a scene stealer, especially in this. She's dope, and I like her look. You know what I mean? Like, she's not a like. She's not a. She wears her hair natural. She's dark skinned. She's a darker black woman. Like, and she kind of, everything I've seen her in, she kind of has like this vibe of like kind of like whatever, like kind of like a tough chick, right? Like, and I think that's very cool. There's not a lot of black actresses that get those kind of roles continually, right? And it's kind of nice to see her doing as well as she's doing. So
she was in a Shonda Rhimes show. That's where I first saw her. She was in Starcrossed.
No, I don't.
It was a show called Starcrossed where she played Juliet. It was a Romeo and Juliet show.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know how Shonda Rhimes loves her interracial couples. So Romeo's played by a white dude.
Yeah, she love a white man. And they probably gonna be fist fighting in the White House. Oh wait, that's Tyler Perry. Never mind.
Yeah, she don't.
But then,
She don't.
but then
Don't act like that's above her. Don't do that.
What,
We've seen
Shonda Rhimes?
Scandal. Yeah, it's not above her. Shonda Rhimes.
wouldn't have Olivia and Fitz fist fighting, but not like in the Oval when they were like.
Nah, I haven't seen the latest seasons of Scandal. I don't know that to be true.
Yo, Scandal's been off for like 10 years, yo. When you
Good.
gonna catch up?
Good. Nah, I'm good. I'm fine. Thank you.
Also, the greatest TV moment, one of the greatest TV moments of all time was seeing Viola Davis's Annalise Keating and Kerry Washington's Olivia Pope meet.
Oh, the crossover.
In a crossover episode. Oh my God. Like top Black woman moments for me in TV.
See? The love between two Black women. It's important. See, white women, you missed it. All right. That is it for us for episode 235. I don't know if the next full episode is going to be what I would love it to be. I don't know. But what I will say is this. The next two full episodes, boy, are they going to ping pong to two completely different fucking zones of things we're going to talk about. Wow. So one is going to be fun and the other one is going to be, I don't know, but it's going to be they're going to both be worth your watching.
I have a guess on what that is, but I'll guess offline.
Yeah. All right. That's it for us. We will see you guys next week for preview episode for episode 236. Later, guys.
See ya.
Take it easy.
Bye.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of Black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the Black community.